Good morning, Don. We have some great videos and we'd like you to tell us about them. So this is the first one about reality, augmented reality. So why don't you tell us what we're going to see?
So this is using a type of smart glasses called the Microsoft HoloLens that we've gotten early developer access to. And we're going to see a lot of these devices kind of emerge into the marketplace in the next 2 to 3 years. And this is an early example of how we can use these tools in education. So um, I think in the video I'll actually be explaining a good bit of that. But right now these tools are really designed for video gaming and for other types of kind of entertainment purposes, but we're going to find that they're going to be used in education a great deal in the next couple of years. And that's why we think it's really important to lay down an evidence base for parents and educators out there so they can understand how these tools can be useful. And hopefully we can use that experience to try to design more inclusive technologies. And so the first step in that is kind of understanding what they can currently do. So this video shows a little bit of those capabilities when we're looking at teaching reading.
Read. So what we frequently do as teachers and parents. Hello everyone. This is an example of how we can use augmented reality to support literacy and helping students learn to read. So what we frequently do as teachers and parents sometimes of students who are learning to read is we'll take common objects and label them with words. You see this pretty frequently in kindergarten and first grade classrooms where chair will be labeled with chair, table will be labeled table, and door will be labeled door. So right now all I've done is taken a selection of letters and spelled out the word door over here so that anyone who's wearing the HoloLens, when they come to this spot in the room, they're going to see that this is labeled door. And you can do that pretty easily. And I imagine it's only going to get easier as time goes on and more of apps are available for the Microsoft HoloLens and other smart glasses, but I can spell out the word door and label this object here. I can do the same thing for this chair here or computers. I've labeled the lab here, lab. Got WSU over there for our university where we're doing some of this work. And you can see here we've got lots of other little digital objects around our classroom. So just wanted you to see how we could start using augmented reality to support reading instruction. One of the things that we wonder sometimes is, wow, this is a neat technology. What is it going to look like in the classroom? And this is just one of many potential ways that we could start using this in the classroom. And while smart glasses like the Microsoft HoloLens aren't very common yet, there are also lots of ways that we can use augmented reality on mobile devices like iPads and Android devices to support reading instruction for our students.
Can you show us the HoloLens and what that looks like, Don, and
Yeah,
explain it a little bit to us?
so this is the Microsoft HoloLens, and in the next couple of years we're going to be seeing a variety of these different types of smart glasses coming out. This one basically is a full Windows 10 computer that you get to wear on your head. It's a little big, obviously. It may not be the most fashionable piece of eyewear. I probably wouldn't choose to wear it while going for a walk or anything like that. But if we think about it in terms of kind of where it is in the history of technology, I'd say that this is a kind of a good example of something that's about as young as bag phones were in 1992. Remember when someone had a car phone, it was a giant contraption that they had to carry around, and it was a useful tool, but it really hadn't fully matured yet and definitely couldn't fit in anybody's pocket and absolutely wasn't a smartphone like we have today. But in just a short amount of time, 2 decades, that rapidly changed. We're going to see a pretty similar thing with these types of smart glasses, except I don't think it's going to take 2 decades for this to get down to a form factor that's a little more socially acceptable to walk down the street with. I think we're probably looking at, somewhere between 3 and 6 years that these things are going to become much more fashionable, lightweight, and a lot more powerful. So what I think is important for us to do is figure out how do we make this technology and other technologies as inclusive as possible, because these tools are generally designed for gaming or some type of other commercial purpose. But our students with disabilities are going to be expected to use all sorts of technologies and to be digitally literate. And if you think about something as simple as sending a text message and messaging right now, having that skill of sending a text message is a really important part for teenagers with autism to have a friend network, because that is one of the most common ways that people gather and set up meetings and communicate with their friend networks. And it's also becoming a really common way that employers communicate with their employees. And if we're going to support our students through lifelong learning and hopefully helping them to get out to independent living, having a good, strong digital literacy skills and teaching them to adapt to new technologies, I think is really important.
Thanks, Don, and we'll be showing a few more videos and some other things that we can do in just a few minutes.